Testimony continued today in the most notorious criminal trial in Richland County. Dr. John Boyle is accused of killing his wife Maureen and burying her body.
The 12-year-old son finally took the stand.
Boy confidently told the jury it was his decision to testify against his father.
I heard a scream. I heard a thud. It was about this loud.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty.
I decided at an early age that our trauma should not be what defines us. It's what we choose to do with it that does. I'm here to share my unique perspective on true crime, mental health, society, and popular culture, and always with a slight sense of humor. I'm Collier Landry, and welcome to my show. Mover Nation, what's going on? Here we are. We are back. Donna Adelson update. Apparently the trial has been pushed, has been delayed. Daniel Rashbaum, Adelson's attorney, and also Charlie Adelson's attorney, apparently has been up to some shenanigans. Daniel Rashbaum, which Katie Kool-Lady, who was on my show recently, we discussed him. But yeah, this is so we're going to get into this here. I'm just adding some hashtags to our video. Little breaking news out of Tallahassee. Surviving the Survivor was down in Florida as well. A lot of people made a trek for this trial, and I think that they did not. I'm pretty sure the city of Tallahassee probably didn't realize that it was going to be this much of a kerfuffle. But here it is, and they are. I'll tell you what. Those sneaky Adelsons. Sneaky Adelsons got away with something. So, as they've been doing for quite a while. So let's see what Court TV has to say about this. And I didn't even do a thumbnail. We'll see. We'll see what's happening. Let's see what Court TV has to say about this. I'm going to jump into the studio on the other computer. And let's see what's going on. What's going on? On that note, Mover Nation, wherever you may be and however you may be watching or listening, thanks for making me a part of your day. We're going to cover this. We're going to get into it. And we're going to do some things. So let's see. Here we go. Per Court TV. All right, let's just start this from the beginning. Okay. Make this bit. Hey, there we go. Of course.
Julie Renee and Ted Rollins. We'll head back to the Carly Gregg trial in Mississippi in just a minute, but we have some breaking news out of the state of Florida in the case concerning Donna Adelson.
They've been dealing with an issue all morning, an issue about Charlie Adelson, the son who was convicted in the death of Dan Markel already last year. He was going to be transferred to testify against his mother, but there was a waiver he needed to sign because his attorney is also his mother's current attorney. Let's go into the courtroom and see how it unfolds.
We continue forward.
Yes, Judge. May I approach the lectern?
You may.
So, Judge, with the surprise issues of the last couple of days, I have asked for my prior client's waiver again, and with the change of circumstances, he has decided not to give it. So let me be clear. I have a waiver in the past. It's from December 12th, December 13th. And an independent lawyer spoke to him as well, although did not get a signature on the waiver. So we had a waiver. We thought we had a waiver. We didn't think there was an issue. But given the events of the last 2 days, I approached appellate counsel to get a new waiver. I thought that was the right thing to do, obviously, and the cleanest thing to do. And I am not able to obtain that waiver at this point. So as a result, I need to withdraw from the case.
Very well.
Wow.
State wish to be heard concerning the withdrawal of counsel.
I don't think I have anything appropriate to say on the matter, Judge. If Your Honor,
Well
that's what
put.
we need to do. We would like to proceed, and I'd ask Your Honor to inquire whether we can proceed the second chair representing Ms. Adelson, but Obviously, we're ready for trial and there's a lot at stake.
Mr. Morris, are you prepared to move through this trial without Mr. Rashbaum?
Judge, I didn't know. I tried to think about all of the different potential rabbit trails. The short answer is I do not believe that I am going to be able to be adequately to proceed forward with the present calendar, primarily because of the division of labor.
So Daniel Rashbaum resigned.
I would move to continue for a brief period of time. That's also, in speaking with Mr. Offerman, which is an issue that I'm going to request that we address, the objection by Mr. Adelson would still pertain to my cross-examination, and by extension, the third party would conduct cross-examination. In short, I need time to regroup.
Before we finish today, I will have the in-camera hearing review concerning whether you have been properly walled off. As to the withdrawal of lead counsel, I am going to permit it. The conflict issues are so severe, I believe, to move forward with the trial. Ms. Kappelman, Ms. Dugan would place us in a position where we would end up in a reversal. Let's go ahead and set a case management date. As to all the expense that has been undertaken with moving witnesses and preparing for trial, the state certainly, as a part of any cost of prosecution, if you are successful, may seek those costs as it relates to today, as this continuance will be charged to the defendant. As to a new date, when would the parties like to have a case management?
I think as soon as possible, Judge. I'm prepared to brainstorm with Ms. Kappelman and Ms. Dugan with the state to be able to get a trial date if we wanted to do that. So I don't know if we need additional time. So,
Ms. Dugan advises she has a court date October 15th, so that would be my suggestion.
10:15 at 2:30 will be the follow-up case management to today. Before we go into recess, I am going to conduct the in-camera hearing with Mr. Morris as to any remaining issue of who should conduct the cross-examination of Charles Adelson if called as a witness. If the court reporter can meet me in the jury room, Mr. Morris, please as well.
Wow.
And there you have it. Donna Sue Adelson is not going to go to trial today. The jurors, potential jurors, are there at the courthouse ready to be selected, but this all boils down to a conflict of interest because she hired the same attorney that her son hired before in the case that he lost last year. And now Charlie Adelson is saying, I never signed a waiver saying that this was okay and you can't cross-examine me when I'm on the stand. Let's bring in criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor Marie Pereira. Marie, why today? Why did we wait until this moment after we transported all of these inmates to testify against her to decide this is a bad idea?
This was foreseeable from day one, this conflict. And I'll say it again, conflict. So I don't know why the judge didn't shut it down from day one to make sure all the documents that needed to be signed were signed and all the pre-trial hearings concerning this conflict were dealt with. Because now I'm mad because I was really looking forward to seeing Donna be on trial. The jurors are there. This is a situation that could have been handled. And the only person, like I said, I feel should have been on top of it was the judge. How did he let something like this happen? Because it was foreseeable. Come on. The moment I heard same attorney, I was like, how is that going to happen? Look at this now.
But he was very concerned about it.
He was. He asked the parties, are you okay with this? And they said yes.
Until they didn't. And of course, they're going to pull this out at the end of the, Judge is back on the bench. Let's go back in.
Mrs. Adelson, depending if you choose to hire additional counsel or just reset the trial date, you'll certainly be able to work with Mr. Morris as your attorney in making that decision. But the trial is going to be continued from today. The jurors will be released this afternoon. Again, as to the inconvenience and delay that this has caused, I'm not happy, but at the same time, we're trying to get this right so we do not have to do it a second time. I will speak with the parties again when we have the next case management hearing. We are in recess. Yeah,
All right, buttoning it up there, Judge Everett. He has such a unique voice and demeanor. He really is, as you said, unflappable.
Calm demeanor throughout the trial, but you don't mess up inside of that courtroom. I experienced that when being there.
And he's upset. In fact, he's saying this is on the defense, and at the end of the day, if the state pursues it, they could be on the hook financially. Marie, picking up where we left off, where it was foreseeable, the defense indicated that this was no problem, repeatedly. But what should the judge have done? Just said, you're not doing this from the beginning, that this is too much of a conflict. It's coming back because we know your client, if she loses, is going to appeal, and let's get this off the table. Is that what you're saying, that this never should have been entertained?
Drop a like.
Not that it shouldn't be entertained, because if all the parties are on board, if Charlie's okay with it and there was a waiver, maybe the judge, before picking the jury, should have said, let's visit this waiver thing again. Do you guys have a new waiver? Maybe he should have insisted on a new waiver being signed, because apparently there's an old dusty one. And then Charlie is now saying, well, I signed it before, but I'm not with it. That's what's happening here. So maybe he should have been more on top of the waiver situation, knowing that, this could be a big conflict.
Wow, that's a great point, Gen X.
You weren't an attorney. All our court TV, watchers were like, wow, same attorney? I think the judge could have handled it better, because he should have been in charge of tracking the waiver and maybe insisted on bringing him in, and maybe even having a pretrial hearing with him only, and him being admonished. When I say him, Charlie, bring him in from prison and say, did you, this is what's happening. Did you sign the waiver? Are you still on board? To avoid this happening right now. But I think Charlie planned that, and he's a con, creating a conflict. That's what this is.
I think you're on point about the possibility that they could have brought in the inmate, at least via video conference. We see that sometimes, but I do think Judge Everett very much wanted to make sure Donna Adelson was aware of this conflict. And in fact, let's go back to this morning. This is what we've seen Judge Everett do for the last 11 months with Donna Adelson when it comes to having this same attorney as her son. Take a listen.
I believe we've done this twice before, but given the circumstance and what has now arisen, it is prudent to do it once again. Do you understand that you have the right to conflict-free counsel?
I understand.
Meaning, specifically, as it relates to Mr. Rashbaum or any other conflict that may be imputed to Mr. Morris or any other third party. Do you understand that your attorney has to be able to properly cross-examine your son if he is called as a witness?
Yes.
Do you understand how this conflict affects the cross-examination potentially, or your overall defense strategy?
Yes.
Have you been able to speak with a conflict-free attorney in making the decision as to whether you wish to waive any conflict on this matter?
Judge,
he looks terrified.
The short answer is going to be no, beyond having spoken with me at the inception of my representation.
Would you like to speak with conflict-free counsel concerning this issue?
Yes.
Very well. Before we finish the colloquy on this matter, then, we will go into recess. The defendant will have an opportunity to consult with conflict-free counsel. We'll resume this afternoon.
So, Marie, what do you think it is? Because the Adelsons have financial resources to hire other attorneys. Everyone thought, as you mentioned, this was a bad idea because it limits what her defense can be. Daniel Rashbaum, he's a great attorney. I watched him represent Charlie zealously. It was an unwinnable case, but he represented him very well. But even being a great attorney in a case that was lost, why wouldn't she just want a new attorney from the beginning? I mean, there's an attachment there that this family has to someone who's been representing them since, I think, 2016, even before they were charged.
Maybe she just felt more comfortable with him, or maybe it is something that they strategized to cause some type of delay. I don't know. You don't know with this family, but they're sneaky, and there might be some nefarious reason. But watching the allocution of the defendant by the judge concerning the conflict, they should have done like you said. Zoomed Charlie in and given him the same opportunity to speak on the possible conflicts. And was he okay with attorney-client privilege? Especially, he still has those same people representing him for the appeal. The conflict was there. This was foreseeable. It was avoidable. And I don't know how the judge let it go that far without shutting it down. Because like you guys said, he seems very assertive. He's on top of it. He's not here for it. But he really dropped the ball because he's the only one who could have shut it down from the beginning, tracked it, and then just avoided the delay today.
Yeah. There's something about this family. It's just
One
par for the
thing
course.
after another.
Yeah.
But the breaking news is no Donna Adelson trial yet, and we don't have a new trial date yet.
No, we'll be back in court October 15th, and at that point, set a new trial date, but it will be pushed considerably because Mr. Rashbaum now off of the case.
There you have it. Wow. So interesting. Well, conflicted out. Charlie Adelson said, I didn't sign any paperwork saying I was going to be a witness. This family, I'll tell you what, this Adelson family, unbelievable. We'll see what happens. Rachel already says they better arrest Wendy today now. We'll see. Black Eagle, the awesome uppity a-hole. Those resources are dwindling. Harvey is stapling money like a madman, I'm sure. Yeah, this family. Wow. Anyways, unbelievable. Well, we'll see. We'll keep you posted on this. Mover Nation, we'll keep you guys posted on what's going on with this. We have a live again tomorrow afternoon, but maybe we'll be live a little later on today too. Maybe it'll be a day of lives. You never know. Anyways, thanks for joining, guys. Thanks for being here. That's the Adelson update. Again, if you did not hear, Donna Adelson's murder trial has been postponed. Counsel has resigned. Daniel Rashbaum, her attorney, and Charlie Adelson had said, I didn't agree. I didn't sign any waiver to testify in my mother's trial. So there you have it. This family, again, posturing, etc. And yeah, anyways, River Nation, we get through another one. Thank you all for being here. We'll be back with updates on the Diddy case. Until then, here's the outro. Mover Nation, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much to all my channel members and Patreon supporters. And for more exclusive content, behind the scenes videos, monthly VIP meet and greets, and watch parties, please consider supporting me on Patreon or by becoming a YouTube channel member. If you like this video, check out this one right here or this one right here. And don't forget to like and subscribe because it helps with the algorithm. On that note, I'm Collier Landry. I'll see you on the next one. Good girl, Marisol. Good girl.